Japanese maples are a big draw for gardeners with their delicate foliage and graceful appearance, but the hot, dry summers of Oklahoma often leave those trees looking rather ragged. And today we'll look at some wonderful trees that can be planted as an alternative to Japanese maples for specimens in the landscape. The first is behind me. This is a Carolina buckthorn. Despite its common name, it doesn't have any thorns, and it's quite common well beyond the Carolinas, as far north to New York and south to Mexico. And one of the beautiful draws of this tree are those great berries. They turn from a bright red in the summertime to near black in the fall. These fruits are actually edible, but I prefer leaving them for the wildlife. They draw birds and other watchable animals into the landscape. The foliage on these trees are just a strong constant, that dark glossy green, and they hold their color well into the fall before turning color. And they produce a beautiful rounded crown. You can prune that up to get a little bit closer look at the smooth bark. Carolina buckthorn is a great alternative to Japanese maples in a sunny or partly shady location. Another tree for year-long interest is the fringe tree, whether it's the native or Chinese species. They both have showy white flowers in the spring and yellow autumn color and produce dark blue fruits. The multi-stem trunk and open canopy provide a strong specimen for the landscape. Fall fruits attract birds but do not produce a maintenance problem. Fringe trees tolerant of air pollution, making it an excellent selection for the urban landscape. Plant fringe tree in full sun to part shade conditions. The sumacs, or roost species, are underutilized native plants in the landscape. They offer amazing structure and beautiful foliage. This is the staghorn sumac. We have several native species and starting to see improved cultivars such as the tiger-eyed sumac, which offers beautiful golden foliage throughout the summer. Now all the sumacs catch fire in the fall with red foliage. You could see them along the roadsides. Absolutely striking native plants, small growing trees or very large shrubs, and you could prune up the branches underneath for some very interesting character. Many gardeners are drawn to Japanese maples because of their colorful foliage. A hardy alternative is the smoke tree, or Catinus. Catinus obovatus, that's the native species, it has chartreuse green foliage. We also have purple species that emerge with a plum colored foliage that matures to a dark green with red hints over the summer and will take on fall color, shifting to orange or purple. The best feature is the amazing summer explosion of flowers. They produce hundreds of small airy flowers that stand up on top of the stems like a cloud of smoke, giving the plant its common name, smoke tree. Another native understory tree is the Serviceberry, or amalancher. Another common name is Juneberry, and that describes the fruiting habit of the tree. It produces edible, delicious small berries in June. Wildlife, of course, also love the berries as much as we do. The plant blooms very early in the spring with very showy white flowers. They're not incredibly long-lived, but do put on quite a show, followed by those blue-black berries. And we could see the autumn color starting to show. We'll get a golden and orange color covering the tree. Another beautiful feature is this smooth gray bark, and with some careful pruning we could really show off that characteristic of the plant to provide some year-round interest. This is a wonderful tree to use either as a specimen or in your wildscape garden. This last specimen puts on an amazing show in the summertime. This is desert willow, Chelopsis linearis, and like the willows, it has very narrow leaves. It is covered in the summer with beautiful flowers that look a lot like orchids, and they'll come in waves from late spring throughout the summer months, really providing a knockout specimen. You want to put that in a location where you can see it on a daily basis. This is a great specimen for hot and dry locations, and you want to put it in a full sun spot where you have good drainage. It does not like to have water standing under its roots. The structure of the plant is very open, and eventually the trees can reach up to about 20 feet, but they're still very airy and open, which makes it very easy to plant beneath the desert willow, and that's a great characteristic when you're looking at a full sun location in the garden. So consider desert willow as a wonderful specimen for the landscape. And fall is the best time of year to plant these understory trees and all woody trees and shrubs in the landscape. So consider adding a specimen tree or understory tree to your landscape this fall.